Today, we're just going to get right into it as your favorite talking head does his best to review another television show. This time, it's something near and dear to my heart. It's the lovely Ted Lasso Season 3, and I hope you guys all enjoyed it as much as I did. Hi, I'm your host, Chris Humphrey. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm just another blabbermouth doing my best to get a positive opinion out there because I think the world needs them. And today just happens to be the lovely Ted Lasso Season 3, which just finished, and it was an utter delight. Now, I've read critics' reviews and I've read fan reviews of this third season, and I don't know who's more wrong on some cases. I'm going to blatantly tell you this right now. This arguably might be one of the better television shows of all time. It also might be one of the best third season of any show of all time. Now, I know people are going to be like, oh, he's crazy. It wasn't as funny. It wasn't as sweet. But I'm going to be fully honest with you. This was a 3-year arc at, at its best and at its peak. You had a lot of things closed and then a lot of things open at the end. And that's what you want in a very positive television show. That's what this show does. It breeds positivity uh, into it. It's one of my favorite shows because it's so heartwarming and so nice. And sometimes you sit there and you watch it and you get sad or you get happy because it's very well written. The whole cast and crew should get credit for these monumentous performances that they've pulled off for the last 3 years, but in particular this season. The reason why I really like this season, and I really have nothing bad to say about it. The reason why I really liked this season is because we had a lot of character growth that was stalling in the first 2 seasons, and we've had this character growth finally come full circle. And that's really what you want in a television show. You want things to start somewhere in the beginning, and then at the end, it all comes full circle. And they don't leave anything unnoticed, and that's the whole point of these great writers and producers, Jason Sudeikis and Brett Goldstein and Brendan Hunt and Phil Dunster, you name it. There's a whole whack of people at this. I really liked this season. I thought it was the most positive out of the three. So, right, you had the first season, which was happy, and right, you had a person in the wrong backyard uh, type of show, and then he's learning and learning, and then finally we get to the third season. He knows a little bit about soccer because he knows when an offside is, and he knows a little bit about people, but he's going through the heartbreak of not being around his son, and I understand that type of emotional depth. I noticed that a lot of the characters and a lot of the actors get to bring in um, their own outside things and bring them into it now, and you can see that with the lovely Rebecca uh, being a theater actress. You can see the way she talks and uh, acts. You can see that, and you can finally see that in the final scene where she cries and thanks uh, Ted Lasso, which in a way she's kind of thanking Jason, because I'm pretty sure that's one of the big reasons she was hired. Or maybe not, it could be fully wrong, but you can see the tears in her eye were true. Um, what I really liked about this season is Nate the Great finally gets his redemption, and that's what he needs. Now, there's underlining things at play where he quit because of the type of pressure that Rupert was putting on him at West Ham, or maybe he knew about the infidelity and they kind of hint at that. And I think that's why it was nice to see this character arc also wrapped up nicely. And then he's welcomed back home as the uh, kit manager, where he should be, personally. But with the way that ends, and I don't really want to spoil too much, but the way it ends, he gets his comeuppance, and which is great. Now, I get what people were saying online. I get it. People didn't think it was as funny. People didn't like the Keeley stuff, I'm going to be fully honest with you. I thought it was just as funny. I thought it was just as clever as the first two, maybe even more, because there's some really good lines in this season that really went over some people's heads, especially that Swiss joke. And of course, the French Canadian wanting to be called Van Damme because every French Canadian wanted to be Jean Claude Van Damme back in the day. Uh, it, it's great, some good stuff. But the Keeley stuff, people didn't like the Keeley stuff, and I don't understand. It made sense to me because she's a free spirit. She's a person going through her ups and downs at the same time as we do. And her ups just happens to be that, okay, she's in a relationship with a woman now. That's fine. And you shouldn't be upset with it. Oh, that's not true to the character. She should be with Roy or Jamie. Well, no, she should be her own person. And I think that shows in the last episode when she, or was it the second last episode, where she chooses none of them. And I don't blame her. I would have chose none of them either because they were both pricks. As you can tell, Keeley was one of my favorite characters because, well, it's Juno Temple, sorry. I loved her since the movie Year One that nobody liked. It's the kind of sense of humor that I have. But I'm going on and on about how great this season is because it's really a tie into the first two. So if you want to go out there and watch the show, you have to watch the first two, or none of it's going to make sense. A lot of the inside jokes. I would have liked to have seen some more of Trent Grimm's book. I wanted to at least get to read some of it, and that I wanted to at least get a copy of that book. And I just want to know how that guy's got such beautiful hair all the time. And it was nice to see the teammates accepting of things they call him, and that's the whole point of this show. Uh, it's meant to be accepting of people's individualities and their personalities. That's what I really like about the show, and it hits home with the Colin stuff, and it hits home with the Keeley stuff. We're all family, and we're all grouped together, and it's just nice to see. Right? It was nice to see McAdoo. You think he's getting mad because he's homophobic, and no, he's getting mad because he wasn't told, and that makes sense. If you're ever a captain, you kind of want to know things about the people you work with just so that you can stick up for them. I really like that scene where he jumps into the stand and starts fighting his own fans. Oh, what a season! As you can see, I'm getting teary eyed a little bit just thinking about it. What a show! I don't think there was any downfall in it because it was all building up for everything. I liked the actor who played Zava. I liked how they tied that in. I don't know if Ted Lasso got the memo beforehand that Zoltan was going to retire, and maybe that's why they were doing it, but it was great. You think Zava was going to be very toxic, and then he ends up being very down to earth and very human with an avocado farm. I really liked it. I really liked the personal growth, and I love that it tied in all three seasons, and everybody's back, and they can go if they want. You now have what Roy Kent being the uh, manager. You have his assistant being there, and then you have Nate the Great coming back in. I think that's what makes it good. And what I want you to do is I want you to go out there and watch it. I'm going to do something I don't really do often. I'm going to give this season a masterpiece. I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. And it's because it ties in the three seasons. And I think that's important. And I want you guys to go out there and watch it and see if you like it as much as me. Now, I know already the people, I don't know what they do, the critics and all that, they don't like it as much as I do. And that's okay because they think it's all forced or whatever. But I think it's well written. I think a couple Emmys are probably going to come their way. I know that Rebecca and Keeley are probably going to be up for the female supporting cast, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think I think 110% Alex Borstein of the Marvelous Miss Maisel is going to be the one to actually win it, just based off of one episode. And then who's Jason Sudeikis? Who's going to be his challenge? It's going to be Barry, right? And that's it, right? Do I count this show as a comedy? Yeah, I probably count it as more of a drama. It's probably why they have it in the dramedy. I can't speak English today, but I really liked it. There you have it. I put it as a 10. Never really happens in my world. As you can see, I don't think anything's going to beat it. We're going to say bye to shrinking. We're going to move it off the list and we're going to put that as 10. I don't think anything's going to beat it this year because I think it's just wonderful. It's a masterclass of storytelling and writing and acting in personal human growth, which we all should, right? Yeah, I know everybody likes to argue that people don't change, but they do, even if it's small. And that's what this show does, is small personal growth is just as important. I'll stop bragging about how good this show is. I love you guys. I appreciate your patience. If I don't see you again, you know what I'm going to say. Good to Morgan, good to Nodden, and good to knock. Producer, play my music, baby. Ciao.